Hello and welcome to our new video review, this time about the Victor Optics Continental 1-6x28 first focal plane. Victor Optics was founded in 2007 and in the beginning they were an OEM producer for other companies, but in the recent years they focused on their own brand and so they introduced the Continental series of rifle scopes, which are the most expensive ones, but they have the most features and they are the only rifle scope series with a 34mm tube. Let's start first with the physical properties. The entire scope is made out of metal, with the only rubberized part on the ocular. It features a 6x zoom factor with a magnification from 1 to 6x28. The magnification ring is very grippy and tactile, which feels very smooth through the entire range. The main tube diameter is 34mm. The scope has tactical lockable turrets and also with a turn indicator, which is very interesting in this price range. The illumination of the reticle has 6 intensity settings with off positions between each setting. The scope is shockproof up to 338 Lapua Magnum. It is also waterproof for 30 minutes at 1 meter depth of water. It is almost 30 centimeters long and the weight is approximately 660 grams. This scope is made in China and has a 15 years warranty. Since Victor Optics decided to make a 34mm main tube for this scope, I'm quite sure this optic is very tough and can withstand all kinds of use. But because of this, the scope is one of the longest and also one of the heaviest rifle scopes in the same magnification and price range. The reticle is positioned in the first focal plane and it is a horseshoe type of a reticle. This is important for the scope in this magnification range because the horseshoe is the only visible point of the reticle at the lowest setting. When we go up with the magnification, the rest of the reticle gets visible, so you can use the reticle at all the magnifications for bullet drop compensation without actually using the turrets. It is a bullet drop compensation reticle with marks up to 800 meters for factory 223 Remington ammunition with 55 grain bullets. Like I said before, the scope has 6 intensity settings for the illumination. Illuminated are only the horseshoe and the dot in the middle of the reticle, but even on the strongest setting, I would say it is not bright enough for daytime use. What I really like about this scope are the tactical locking turrets with really positive and tactile clicks. Especially for this price of scope, they feel perfect. In one revolution, there you make exactly 10 milliradians of elevation. And another great feature of these turrets is the mechanical and visual turn indicator, which pops out when you come in the second revolution. This turn indicator pops even further out when you come in the third revolution, so you have a great indicator now that you are in the third revolution of the turret. Another great feature of this scope is the hard zero stop. which has no clicks under the 0. You see it's exactly at 0. This 0 stop is very easy to adjust. You just, when you're sighting in, make the correction, lock the turret, loose this screw. Under the turret is a bigger screw which you have to screw back to the starting position. A small click comes. Then you put the turret back, put the screw in, and you are already sighted in. Also, the Windage turret has a locking function, and where I see room for improvement is some kind of a 0 stop, but not on the 0, but on the opposite side where the 5 is, because when you're on the range you can make the adjustment, and when you forget you can easily go back to the 0 on the wrong direction, like this. Your rifle scope is 10 mils off. That's why if you have a 0 stop, let's say on the 5, you cannot go further, you have to go back to the 0. This would be a nice solution for the scope. As I said before, this rifle scope has a magnification range from 1 to 6 and objective lens diameter of 28 mm. But what is really special about this scope is the extremely wide field of view of 40.8 meters at 100 meters, which can be compared to even some much more expensive rifle scopes in the 2000 plus euro range. Also, the picture quality for 629 euros is just exceptional. It's on a much higher level that you would expect for this amount of money. The field of view on the biggest magnification, so on 6 times, is 6.8 meters at 100 meters. Vector Optics claims a light transmission rate through the entire scope of more than 90%. The eye box is approximately 10 centimeters, and the eye box, what I have tested at 1x zoom, it's really great. It's really easy to stay behind the reticle. At 6x it's average, like most of the other scopes. So what comes with the rifle scope in the box? It's a user manual in different languages, lens protection, a cleaning cloth, then 34mm Picatinny mounts made completely out of aluminum. This is, for this value that you get also Picatinny rings, is just incredible. Then zeroing tool, a warranty card for registering of your product, some additional advertising material, and another elevation turret which does not feature a 0 stop and no turn indicator. With this turret you can use the entire range, elevation range, which is 52 mils. This is very much. And now for a short summary. What I do like about this scope: it's a great optical performance, very big field of view, which can be compared to much more expensive rifle scopes. Then the big elevation range of 52 mils, with an option of an additional turret, which does not feature a 0 stop and a turn indicator. Then a great build quality. Overall build quality is just, it's great. Then the turret with very nice positive clicks, a hard stop locking function with a turn indicator. It's very great. Zeroing is very easy, but here we start with a room for improvements, where the zeroing is easy only in one direction. What I want to say, if you have to zero in this direction, it's easy, you just follow the steps I told you before. But if you have to zero behind the zero, you have to make it's different. You have to first unscrew the turret, go with the inner ring screw outside, put it on, then go back behind the zero and repeat the whole process. What I also noticed is when the turret is not locked, it is a bit wobbling. This, I think it could be easy fixed from Victor Optics. It's not a big issue, but it's good to know. Then the turn indicator. It's great for first and second revolution, but when you come in the third revolution, it pops just a fraction of a millimeter out, so you don't have a nice mechanical or visual indication if you are in the second or in the third turn. Then about the turret, it is very loud when you click when you close it. You hear it here. It's not a big problem if you are on the range, but let's say you are somewhere here and you want to lock it, but you are hunting. This is not ideal. Then the Windage turret, as I mentioned before, with no stop on the opposite side of the turret, with which you can easily make a big mistake about the whole turn of the turret. And the last is the scope is one of the most heaviest and the longest in this price range and in this magnification range. Overall, I'm very impressed with the scope for this price range, especially with many additional features and rings and everything. Okay, this was a short review of the Victor Optics Continental 1-6x28. Thanks for watching, and for more information click the link below.